everybody. Welcome back to the DREAMKILLERs Podcast. My name is Ian.
My name is Josh.
I'm Ben.
I'm Ryan.
That's right. Today is going to be a great show. We're going to go over a couple things as we usually do. Thank you for joining us. Good to have everybody here. Our guest today, these people, Ryan D. Wheeler and Ben Gerrits. You guys are on here because it's kind of like a dad show tonight.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a beautiful thing. You guys both have, you got good families. Both of you guys got 2 kids, right?
I have 2.
I have two as well, yeah.
This is a beautiful thing. So welcome out, taking time away from the kids and from the house and from the garages to be out here on the DREAMKILLERs Podcast. So first we'll get into Ryan.
Sexy.
You got your own thing going on, and it's a crazy deal, man.
Dude, I never...
Dad.
Super insane.
And I never pictured it like... I pictured the car and all that, and then I got into like the scene again, because I was Honda's back in 2002 to like 5, 6.
Right.
Got totally out of the game, and then came back in and had this kind of idea, and then got around the exotics, and was like, man, a lot of these people aren't very nice. They're not like that. I'm like, so we're gonna try to change it, and then it's just turned into something crazy.
So how'd you get that car?
Dude, Bitcoin mainly. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I was wondering, really? I believe you.
Millionaire real estate
Sinker, I believe that. Not gonna lie. I was like, dang.
no, dude, just working. I own a construction company.
Cool.
Now, but it's just I've outworked people. So I always do.
Hey,
Just work harder.
Yeah, right.
So
That's a good thing, man. I mean, so like, what have you done with the car? I mean, obviously, was it stock when you got it?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it had like a Klein exhaust on it, and it had a white wrap. And I got it and was like, man, I'm not going to do nothing because I'm broke now because I bought this car.
Right.
And then that lasted for like 3 days. I'm like, okay. So then we started ripping it apart. I called my buddy up from back in the Honda days. I'm like, bro, you got to come help me work on this car. He's like, well, we can't. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, dude, we're ripping out.
It's a hard car to work on. Like,
This is a little difficult, yeah.
Yeah, so dude, we just figured if we got up in the air, we could figure it out, you know.
Right.
I used to swap motors and Hondas, and they ran sort of. So
They ran sorta.
yeah, so dude, we converted it right away to rear wheel drive.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, and then just it's been nonstop ever since. And now it's been
So, donut dad.
yeah. That's all I wanted to be able to do.
Yeah.
Was donuts.
So this wrap that you got on there, it's LD, right, for Lambo Dad on there?
Yep.
That's pretty cool,
That
man.
is pretty cool.
It keeps changing and evolving a little bit, right? Like I've seen it. I saw it one time where it was like the charcoal black, and then you had like some gold accents in it or something
I
like that.
remember that. That was cool.
Yeah. So it was white first. Yep, and then it went to black, like multicolored black, like big camo print black, with gold in it, and then it went all black, and then this came about.
I love it.
It's cool.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it's wild,
man.
and it's
cool.
full. It's full reflective.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it screws up traffic like just crazy at night. It's illegal, like, but
Yeah, but
it's cool. We keep the signatures on the front. We let kids write on it and stuff.
That's super cool. Yeah, I seen that.
I got this other photo of it right here. It's a different perspective. You can see some of that reflectiveness, yeah?
So hold on. I expect this to be modest, right? You gonna apply, right?
Yeah, what do we gotta do?
Just apply.
Okay. Modest coming up.
April 1st is gonna be opening for registration. So.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great this year. It's all gonna be indoors. It's gonna be at the River Center in St. Paul.
I did hear something about. I saw something.
It's gonna be choice.
And we have
I'm expecting Ben's car to be done for that too.
Yeah, good luck. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
That's the ongoing.
We have
thing.
some stuff over our sleeves too. We can't tell you about.
Yeah, we can't talk about it yet. We keep saying we're gonna drop a little Easter eggs, but we ain't dropping nothing. We ain't saying nothing. But yeah, no, man. I mean, and you converted this car over. It was all-wheel drive, obviously, but now it's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, yep. Because driving them early on, I mean, it's an old all-wheel drive system. So when I bought it, like I rolled up, had to go roll down to university, like where we used to hang.
Sure.
And there's still people hanging. And
No, not anymore.
Oh, they're still there. We checked it out a little while ago.
Wait, really? This year?
But no.
This was like almost 3 years ago when I first got
I'm saying
it.
That's how
Uni's
long.
done.
Yeah, so we went down there, and I remember pulling in, and like everyone's like, oh, no, and this is my first time, like I had it like a day and a half.
Yeah.
And I go to try to back into this tight parking spot. Well, you can't see nothing. You
No.
can't see
Right.
anything, and if
No.
you're not used to the car, like So I killed it, and then it was that all-wheel drive trying to like park into a tight spot is like dude, it was terrible. My wipers are going. Everyone's making fun of me, and then
Did you hit anything?
Dude, and I didn't hit nothing.
Okay, good.
Thank
But
God.
then we get parked, just hard parked. I get out, and there's like 18 feet behind me. Everyone's looking. I'm like, dude, this is terrible. I need.
going.
Yeah, nobody's out there helping a brother. They all look at it. And
That's bogus.
He's got a
Yeah.
Lambo. He knows what he's
Yeah,
doing.
they're like,
So
oh,
when
just
you
ripping.
like, so with that, you remember how the people that bought the old Lamborghinis, they had to like flip the door up and then they would sit
Halfway out the
outside of it.
door.
You know what I mean? You got to do that kind of thing. You got to pop your head out and be like, oh, let me look back. Or
Oh, dude, that was one of the first things. I converted to rear wheel drive, and then we put a backup camera in it.
Hey.
And then I run those.
Smart.
I run that big
the track bar,
that big
tracker.
old mirror,
Yeah.
and
The
I've done
Honda
it.
dudes used to run.
Yeah, yep.
Like,
So I
way-
used to run it
Yeah.
snow plowing. I ran one because you could see out your back corners.
Oh, sure.
And I just got so used to that when I got this, I threw one in, and you can actually see out them little back corner windows.
No shit.
Just a tiny bit, just enough to at least make sure you don't.
Try to hit anything.
Yeah, try to hit anything.
It's so like I can't even explain it, but gold reflective. This thing's nuts. If you haven't seen Lambo's dad's car, it's absolutely silly. It's just you can find it everywhere because we can see you over on YouTube and Insta and Facebook and everything. But
You can see it from space.
But you take this thing, yeah, you can. But you take this thing out and you actually go out and you do like you work with kids and stuff like that.
Do a ton with kids, yeah. So my big thing has been always like what got me to want an exotic car was checking out one at a gas station, peeking around, and then the dude's like, "Hey, come here, like get your mom, get a picture in this." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm going to sit in this car." She's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going. Yeah, see ya." But having someone like open the door to that car and then give me that I had that vision, and
Right.
through all the shit I went through, like I know like money doesn't buy happiness and but for me it was like that was the goal I set was
Right,
this
right,
and that's
yeah.
what
Right,
pushed me
right,
through all of these things, and then now to be able to bring it to kids and like put kids in it. We put over 2,000 kids in the driver's seat last year.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
donated
super
$1
cool.
for everyone that did it, and
Right.
and that kind of started a little movement in the exotic scene. All of a sudden, Cars and Coffee, people started
Yeah.
popping up this idea.
Yeah.
And we weren't allowed in Cars and Coffee anymore, but it was all good.
Wait, you got kicked out?
A couple times, yeah, we didn't get let in, and then you can't really brand any other brand, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
brand, so it's all
I've
good.
gotten in.
That
Yeah.
scene's changed,
I'm
though.
surprised I got in.
I'm surprised you got in too. It's really funny. Like Cars and Coffee is weird, but at the same time, it's like it's I don't know.
Can I-
We drove in together, just hanging out as buddies, and we're like, we're gonna roll in. They're like, nope,
No,
you
they
got to go
said-
over there. You got to go over there. It's like I'm just hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
And they literally said they're like, well, if you wanna park together, you guys can park in the guest parking.
Yeah,
over
what-
there.
I'm like,
and I'm like,
what
bro,
is-
like really, like why are you like this is not like some show,
But
it's it's
they're-
not even.
They're trying to organize, and I get it, and I can't talk bad about it because I understand the frustration of putting on shows. It's
I don't know why you'd ever put on that. Like for me, there's like you guys for putting on these big shows. Like
It's
I
hard.
can't even imagine the stress.
You
level.
You have no idea.
No,
bro.
like
do
and
it for
I
the love.
Yeah, and I
then we
respect
do.
that so much because that is, dude, that's so hard. I started doing when I was going to put a show together for charity out in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first 6 phone calls, I was like $7,000 into permits to put on
Yep.
this
Yep,
show.
it's not cheap.
And I
Like,
was trying to donate all the money. I'm like, well, dude, I'm gonna have to raise money to I'm gonna
to
go
break
bankrupt.
even.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
see,
I-
that's
so I
where you
respect
cheap,
it.
man. And
that's
like,
where a lot of people run into issues, though. Is I mean, that's because they're trying to put it on as cheap as possible. Like we pulled off remember what we did with Illis. We pulled that stuff off for as budget as we could because it's free.
and we were breaking even pretty much. Every
And we were
single time.
breaking even. And
Every
it was
single year,
still,
yeah.
but I want to say it was still just the hassle of going through it. I mean, the cops would show up and be like, you don't have a permit. And you're like, oh, man, oh, my God. Okay, well, we don't, but we're in this lot that has permits. And they're like, all right, this is the last time you can do it without a permit. And then you're like, it's going to cost us more. And then, but, you can.
Insurance, all that stuff we have to pay for. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's brutal, man. So, yeah, it's difficult. So,
right in that show, like with the Cars and Coffee, like I get what they've got going on, but that was the same thing we rolled out, and I had talked to them, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna roll in, but we've got
Yeah.
I got a full carbon car coming, I've got an Aventador coming, like all these, but they do have, you know, because the Crown
Shout out
Rally
Grady.
stuff. Yeah, shout out Grady, my favorite car in the world. And so if you were there so they brought that, and that time I told them like it's either all of us or none of us.
Right.
And they're like, no, you can come in, but not the other ones. We'll take yours 'cause we're almost full. And
No.
I'm like,
Really?
nah.
Yeah. So.
So then Grady we got to see the launch, full 1,000 horsepower, full send in front of Cars and Coffee.
I bet they love that. Huh?
I don't normally do a launch out of anywhere because there's usually a bunch of cops and stuff. But I did a nice pull out of that one, and right in front of the cops and everything. And like a cop gave me a thumbs up, so I sent my fucking all the power to the ground. That turbo, all you heard was my screamer. Just wastegate opens up, and it was just, whoop, and I was just like, see ya. But anyway, we can go on this one for days because that's a whole nother thing. But I do want to catch what you got going on because I saw in a video. I saw this little Honda.
I'm excited to hear about this. I'm not gonna lie.
Stock,
Dude,
Honda.
super stock.
Just stock.
Yeah, just
Right.
stock.
Watch the video, by the way. There's some little
So where did you pick this up?
I got it from Illinois, from a buddy.
out of state. Good.
Yeah, and it's it's gonna be sweet. Our goal is to get into the nines for under 10 grand, and that's with buying the car.
Cool, man. That's
So-
great.
That's a good.
And keep
good
it front
goal.
wheel drive.
Yeah, keeping it front wheel drive.
So
Yep.
I'm screwed. I can't catch up to you then. But man, that's cool though. I mean, it's a light car.
Super light.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
God, I want one so bad. That's really like, if I didn't live where I lived, I would buy an EG.
You cannot find a clean.
No, your car would be
anywhere
gone.
around here.
no,
yeah.
they're
hard
I
to
know,
find.
and that's why I don't want to buy it. So
no, you can find them. They're just on the side of the road with no wheels on them.
stolen.
But the bodies are so big. So I'm used to like.
no, but like
I was in the scene back in 04. I'd put together a 300 horse EK, and that was like, dude, I go out and crush kids because
Yeah.
nobody was doing it.
right.
And then that was like my passion of what got me into cars. Well, I started going to all these car shows, and then they see me rolling the Lambo. I got the Lambo Dad stuff on, and I go over and talk to the Honda dudes, and they're like acting like I'm trolling these dudes. I'm like, yo, like when we start talking, I'm like, dude, I'm into this shit.
Right,
like this is where this is like me. And then I get the dudes that come up and they're like, for $8 grand, my Civic will kill your Lambo. I'm like, dude, well, let's roll into a parking lot together.
Everybody wants to say that. Everybody owns a Honda. Wants to
So
say
now
that.
I can
know.
tell them to bring it on. I got a Civic that we
There
can
you
run
go.
Civics.
There you go.
Let's
Go. I
Civic
tell you
for
what.
Civic, let's
Yeah.
run.
Let me go grab the Civic, and then we can have some
Yeah.
fun because it's realistically, it's probably not fair because I don't think they understand how light a Lambo is and all that, and with the power you're putting down, it's a different world. It's a different kind of horsepower, and we'll get into that because that's
Hey, so
silly.
I got a question. Are you going to Proving Grounds?
I don't know. It all depends.
No.
You gotta
that's-
ask my wife and my kids.
Okay,
That's-
so a wifey, Miss Lambo Dad,
Miss Lambo Dad.
Lambo mom. That's her,
Lambo
that's her
Mom,
Instagram.
Miss Lambo Mom. Ryan's going to Proving Grounds with us.
Hey.
Proving Grounds 1, so make sure.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that LS400
But I
up
need to
there
ride
with the
that.
weld.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, I need to ride in it. So Proving Grounds 1.
If you haven't done Proving Grounds,
You need
it's
to
a
go.
bunch of every little bit of everything: drag racing and drifting and tire burnouts and just all around debauchery. We are going to bring an LS400 with a welded diff, and we're going to send that thing to the roof and slam it
not
to the
to the
ground.
wall.
I got extra tires. We're just going to go have some fun with it, and it'll just throw it around. We can put it in the wall because it's already seen
no,
one.
we don't want to.
It's already seen a couple walls.
I have line locks. I mean, we could do some burnouts.
There you go.
We could shred a
okay.
set of tires.
We're good. And you gotta
You hear that? He said he's shredding tires. That's going to be a real
Ayo.
expensive day right
I
now.
think we did seven pairs last year. I think
Oh,
of
man.
rears.
Seriously?
Cool.
Yeah, we go.
Damn,
we
son.
go through a lot of
We gotta
rear
get
tires.
you got
We get
any-
them for cheap though. I'm
was gonna say, you got
calling
an
the Camaro
endorsement?
guys. Like, hey, let me get them takeoffs.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're not great. We don't need great.
I'm excited to see that, and we're going to talk more about that the Lambo killer here in a little bit because about purchasing and what it goes through and process on that. And both of you guys are well versed in that because you buy a lot of stuff. But let's move on, and I want to get to Ben Gerrits. Ben,
Hey,
man, I mean,
Heyo.
this guy got me to buy the car that I'm driving now. Like,
don't blame me for that.
well, don't tell my lady. No, but I've taken his advice a lot because I've seen what he's done with stuff, and it's driven me to do cooler things. Like you see somebody doing something that inspires you. That's this guy right here.
Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot.
Yeah, he's the guy that we go out and get tacos and stuff, and the girls are talking about their girl stuff, and we talk about cars. That's it.
Yeah. Hours of cars.
For hours and hours. Both you guys, I've seen your videos. You got pretty cool garage setup, and you got a cool garage setup. That's my favorite garage to hang out ever. You got like the screen, all the right tools. Everything's organized. Like at least a half dozen 10 mils sitting around.
I'm the guy that finds all the
that are
10 mils.
labeled in their position at all times.
So that's where mine must have gone.
Right.
Right.
Because I got like one usually on average, if I can find that one.
That garage took a few tries though.
Well,
to get where it is now. I mean, it's a house to house kind of thing. And all right, if I was going to change it, I'd change this. And now where I am, it worked out. It kind of just all eventually found its place and everything works. And actually, everything in the garage is off the floor. So at any point, I can take it out, completely clean it down to nothing, and put it all back.
That's pretty cool.
Workbenches,
super
everything
cool.
is up off the ground.
That's great. Well, how did you start out? Because I remember hearing a story about you sideways around, off ramps and stuff in an old Yoda.
No, that was the 240.
Oh, it's 240
back then.
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, I got into drifting way back when kids were still doing Hondas. Not saying like I knew better, but I don't know. You guys ever heard of that? There was a company, a little shop down in Bloomington called Project D.
Yep.
You remember them?
Yep.
Yeah. So I can't remember their names, but they were cool as shit, and they were building 240s when everyone I knew was still building Hondas, and I was kind of over it because I had cars before that too, so I had a Talon all-wheel drive turbo that was pretty fast. It had built up and everything, and like I said, all the kids were building Honda. I was like, "Oh, do what these guys are doing." And then I just got bored with it really quick. Got into the 240s, got into drifting because of those dudes. Didn't know about welded diffs. This was before people like welded them, So I was still rocking an open diff, but I could swing it around enough to have fun with it, and scare people, like you said, like cloverleafs. Just like I kind of would leave work every day and build up to this thing where I'd fly into the cloverleaf in third, like way revved out, kick the clutch, and just make some smoke. And
This is Josh's dream right now. And you're explaining. He's like, I've dreamt about because he really wants to do this.
Yeah, I really want to start drifting. That's my next thing I want to start doing really, really, really badly.
Dude, I'll do it with you. I had talked about that when this Civic thing was going on, that I would love. Because I want to get out on a track. Like, we go and do the rallies and stuff, and those are awesome because we raise a bunch of money.
Right.
And the people are what make the rallies so cool. But, like, to me, like, even with the Civic, I want to get back into, like, actually racing.
Right.
And then, like, the drifting thing,
It's so fun.
And, like, I watch them, and I'll sit and watch, I'll get going, it ruins my getting anything done because I get on YouTube and I'm watching these dudes and they're like
killing.
I mean, like
stupid sending it,
it, and I'm like, dude, if I could do that on like 494,
yeah, good luck.
Keep it safe though. Right?
Yeah, you gotta keep it.
Yeah,
safe.
I mean, 494 at the track,
but
not that we would do this.
The track over on 494.
Yeah. But it's so sick looking when
it's great.
when it's smooth and it's good and it's and you got the power and it's all set up correctly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like me being in like even a couple of the homies like cars like while they drift, and I'm just like I fell in love. I was like, I need to do this. Like it's so fun.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is hard to find the right place to do it, though. I mean, highways, side streets, they're really not the best place.
Yeah,
I mean, not to give anything away, but I spent a lot of time learning in industrial parks after dark.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
and
that makes sense.
It was like the safest place to be.
Yeah, but now with all the cameras and everything, and
That's-
everybody's got
a
that,
little
like,
sketchy.
This
we
was
can
a
be
long
like,
time
look,
ago.
somebody left marks everywhere. I'll go to the cameras. I'll zoom in. And it's like you got to worry about some of that stuff too, right?
that's why you need a YouTube channel.
that's
then
why-
you can go viral.
Then
all
you
you need to do is pay,
Then everybody knows your spot.
Yeah.
So what got you to transition? You went from drifting, then did you go right into lowriders or?
I had kids, so I kind of
Mexican then.
What?
You turned Mexican then, since you went lowrider.
I always had a thing for mini trucks. So
everybody does.
Right.
Everybody does.
I would buy Lowrider magazine back in the day, and I was like, hydros are the coolest thing in the world. I'm going to have that someday.
Right.
So had kids, wanted to slow down. The thing with fast cars is you kind of always want to drive them fast. So I'm like, all right, I got this little 2-door sports car thing. I want to fit a car seat, yet you know. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna move away from the cars. I'm gonna focus on the kids. And when I got back into it, I wanted to actually pursue the lowrider thing. So, and I like the fabrication part of it too.
Right.
A lot of those builds like that, you can't go buy the parts over the counter. You have to make them.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
and there's a lot to it, you know, designing a suspension system that works, you know, having brakes that you know, put on there, they have to work. Everything kind of has to go function, and you can't just go on the road with something you threw together and expect it to work and not kill people. So there's a lot of big learning curve, but, you know, I'm pretty set on, like, not reinventing the wheel. Like,
Well,
I'm not the first guy to ever do that. So I learned a lot from other people.
And I don't have a lot of photos of Slammy Truck here, but this is Slammy Truck without its back. This was, this is the
one,
lowest.
yeah.
This is version 1 of Slammy Truck, and we'll show Slammy Truck 2.0. But man, I remember there's a photo that I have in my phone of you sitting in my alley, and he had the license plate was lower than the way the bumper is because that's the way it sits, and the back license plate was like worn off but drug out because of the car rode so low.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see it where the rockers are in there. It's insanely low, but it was like the coolest thing, and it was like 1,000 different colors, and it was nuts.
I had like 5 different colors.
It was cool, man.
But yeah, you know, the big thing with if you're not a mini trucker, there's a lot to make it go that low. Normally the frame would be sitting on the ground, and right there the rockers are. So you actually take the entire body, channel it, chop it, re-weld it, channels the tunnel for the transmission has to go up. Everything has to get kind of cut, fit, put into place to make it sit that way.
And I had to learn how to do that. And I used this in this next photo. You see that white truck that's next to that? What was that, 54?
It's like a 57 Chevy I was going to
okay.
put on the frame that you now have.
Oh, yeah, you see the white, there's a white lowrider S10. You see how low that is. Look, I mean, you don't understand how low that truck is until you actually sit next to it. Like that, the white pickup truck that's in this photo that's slammed on this S10 frame, it doesn't even come up to the fenders of that other truck.
No, it's probably right, you know, top of the roof is like the door handle or something.
It's insanely low because it's
awesome.
So the frame goes through the cab. Like your channel.
Yeah, and actually on that first build, that was the first mini truck I tried to build. I never finished it because I got that 57 Chevy thinking I wanted to do an old patina truck on a frame. People will do that with an S10 frame, but they do it with the slightly older Chevy trucks, like 49 to 53. Much narrower, shorter. It all kind of drops on with some body mounts. That 57, however, is much wider, longer. And I did get the body onto that frame, but it looked ridiculous. It looked like
Too narrow.
The anti-Hello Flush thing where everything's in like a foot, you know? So I just kind of gave up on it. You wanted the frame. It all worked out. So,
I ended up buying this frame, and I'm telling you, for what I was doing with the Chevy car, you know, with a 49 Chevy Sport Coupe, it fit great. Like I had to put a 3-inch spacer on the rear. That's how narrow an S10 is compared to.
That's crazy.
Right. So, but it worked out for me. So I dig it, and I'm glad that it worked out that way because somebody bought the body from you, right?
Yeah, of the 57 truck, yeah.
Somebody bought the 57, and then the other guy went away, so I took the frame and the wheels and all that stuff, and it works out good. But from that, you turned into doing you went over to Toyotas, and what we're looking at is your off-road setup.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Which is a body lift, right?
It's
how is
an
it?
Old Man Emu. It's Australian. Just a 3-inch lift. And it has some other little things to it to level it out. But
Look good.
don't
I
ever
like
do it. It's a waste of money.
But right next to Slammy Truck 2.0, which was where'd you find that? Where'd you find that
South
truck?
Dakota. That truck was some kid's drag race truck. So I got it.
Really?
Yeah, so he had whatever regular frame underneath it, but a built 22R Wiseco pistons, everything from the bottom up built,
All
and
nitrous.
then side draft Macouni's, and then like 150 shot direct port nitrous.
on a
Right.
4-cylinder.
Right.
No way.
Yeah.
I used to get
Super
rid
cool.
of. I used to get rid of Honda motors like that.
Right. Just right in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
So it was kind of cool. I got a good deal on it. He had to sell it. I wanted it. I was tired of having that red truck rusty, You know, like if I'm gonna build something, I want it to look clean and nice.
Right,
you know, like
right,
the patina
right.
thing was
Yeah.
cool for a while, but so I found the clean body with a good engine, and then kind of took the best of 2 trucks and made them into one.
Nice.
Looks good, man. I'm not gonna lie, I love it.
And you recently got rid of it. It's going to a new
Looks
home.
good, huh?
Yep, I changed phases. A real cool guy bought it from me with the inspiration to finish it up. The interior wasn't finished, but his story is pretty cool too. He had same truck and just got it totaled out, and he ended up getting, it was the same like a 87, 88 Toyota that he got from his grandpa, and he always wanted to do something to it. So he saw mine for sale, and he's like, look, this is what I've always wanted to do to it. You saved me the hard work.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can't even tell you how many hours I put into building that thing from the
bet.
ground
Oh
up.
no!
you know?
I was on fire watch while you were cutting it one time. I was like, "God, truck's on fire, dude." So it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and like I said, not a lot of it's bolt on at all.
Yeah.
And so I had my fun with it. I drove it around, and it just didn't do enough for me. Like I just, I'm not really a show car guy. Sorry, but you know, like I've now like changed my wheels to like I want to build a track car. So sold it, bought a little E30 BMW, and building that from the ground up, bushings, motor swap, the whole nine.
And we're gonna when we get in the future, we're gonna talk about that one too, because I think it's really cool for what you're doing with that. I'm really excited for it, and I had a great time ripping apart that E36 with you.
Oh yeah, that was a great little pull an engine quick.
I want to say we like probably a 4-hour period of time. We had that whole thing stripped apart, like all said and
4
done.
hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No way.
You know, we ripped like he comes back
Quick.
around the side of the car. I already had the whole front end ripped off. I mean, it was missing a lot of bolts, but it really was somebody had been doing stuff.
Yeah, it was
But I
the
had
first
already-
time it got touched.
It was
no.
like the car, you're looking at a car, and then I think the whole front end of the car was completely off in about 20 minutes.
that core support wasn't doing a whole lot.
No, that car was. We'll get that thing is crazy. And you guys have bought cars from people, just like I have. You get it, and it's like this seems like the sweetest deal on the planet, and you're like, oh man, this is exactly what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do to it. It's going to be great. But then you get it, and you find out there's a bunch of nonsense, or just like people's problem.
Like a bunch of
Hidden
it.
problems.
Yeah.
Stuff that you look at too, and you I don't even know how you don't see them. You got that, like you got your blinders on because you're like, I want it,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you're like, okay to pass on a few things, like let
Yep.
it slide, and then all of a sudden you get it home, and you're like,
Exactly.
What the
what?
fuck?
Yeah, like
I
this-
would have loved. Yeah.
Like what was I? Was it? Like
But
It was
let's be
midday,
honest.
I'm
All
sure.
of us
yeah,
guys.
like did I not see this car?
Yeah.
All of us guys, when we set ourselves on a car, though, I'm going in and I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to lie. If I like, so yeah, you're right. You have blinders on.
Yeah,
You know.
I've gotten better. I want to think as I've gotten older, because man, I used to I'd get set on something. I'd get there and they're like, oh, like you got a title? Like, well, no, but I'll get it. I'm
Right.
like,
Good enough.
Nope.
Let's go.
all right.
Perfect.
Sold.
That's a no go. If somebody
All right,
doesn't
can
have
you
a
go
title,
ahead and push that into the trailer?
Right.
you'll take them. Okay.
Dude, it's horrible. I've dealt with so much stuff like that because I was always just like, I trust people too.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, dude,
Too
we
nice of
shake
a guy.
hands and you tell me you got something. Like, dude, I'm expecting.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with that right now. I got a stack of trailers I bought that I was waiting for the titles. It was from a buddy, and
Can't get them.
no, they don't have titles anymore. Put it that way.
Dang. That
Yeah.
stinks.
So it's like, oh, cool. I got
Well,
these
This
trailers.
is awesome.
That happens. I mean, the
Trailer for sale.
I was watching.
Right. No title, but I'll give you a PlayStation 2.
I saw on Lambo Killer, you guys were going through all sorts of problems. That now those were pre-existing, or you just found out like
Yeah,
stuff.
so
with them?
so with that car, like to give a little backstory on that car, I've wanted that car for a while. It was a buddy that had it. It was built. I knew the parts were good, and for the price I got it for from him, I mean, I got a smoking deal regardless.
Right.
Sure.
But I did buy it not running,
Right.
some fuel issues, but the car did make like big power before, and it has the key components. I mean, the built motor, the fuel system. It's got a cell. It's got a, I mean, all the parts on it are like
ready to go.
really good.
Yeah.
But obviously now, like getting into it, it's kind of like, do you just rip everything out and then start? You know what I mean? It's like, where
Right.
do you? Because we're finding a ton of it's a lot of little stuff, but like every bushing, the ball joints and all this, but trying to keep it in that budget
Yeah.
of $10K. Like the one side of me is like, dude, go buy all the nice shit. Let's make this thing badass.
Right.
Because it doesn't cost. It's so much fun to start looking at parts for these. So I'm like, wait, I can buy what? For my Lambo breaks an axle. It's like, oh,
Right.
drive shaft shop, $3,200, and you need to send me yours. And I'm like, you kidding me? This thing is like new car, $3,200.
Right.
So,
Well, that's why guys go for that Honda game on the drag
It's
strip.
cheap.
Because they can break stuff and be like, yep, oh, we didn't make that pass, and throw something else in.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
$18 to fix that.
Yeah.
Right.
With
And it's
labor.
available at AutoZone
Right.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Right.
Sign me up.
with a lifetime warranty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna snap that next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. And your Lambo had a bunch of issues too that you found out when you got that?
Yeah, so when I got that, and I drive my stuff hard. So, like,
Sure.
I know buying anything that's older, like,
It's going to break.
we're going to, I bought
I'm gonna break something.
I don't know, I'll probably get this right. I think it was an E46, 2003.
Three? Yep, that's the
Yeah.
E46.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was supercharged. It had a Vortec on it. And that was, like, kind of my first getting back into the game. I was like, I need something that's, like, dad-ish, but
Still
it's
cool.
Still cool. It
Yeah.
wasn't cool. It was cool at first, but I brought it to a shop. I didn't know. I've been out of the game for so long that when I brought it to this shop, they had it for like 45 days. They
What?
broke the disc
Oof.
valve off.
Hold on,
Was this an
45
M3?
days? What were you doing in
the
there?
fuck?
Oh, dude, I brought it in to get an O2 sensor put in
And it took
for a
45
wideband.
days?
They broke off my disc valve into the motor, and I'm like, "Why were you touching it?" Well, we were checking the lines, and they're flimsy, and I'm sitting here like, "How is that okay? You're gonna slap me with a $3,000 bill?"
No,
Because they did that?
They broke
way.
it. Yeah. They shouldn't have touched it. So it turned into like it got really nasty. I finally went in
Right.
and they're a local shop next to me.
Man.
I'll never do business with them. I don't know how they're even. I've heard of many
bad.
horror
So hold on,
stories.
please don't tell me you actually paid $3,000 to get it back.
Yeah. I just
Really?
manned up, went in there, paid, took my car. Car broke down like 6 miles down the road. The one
Shut
thing that
up.
they had to put in.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. It was, but it gave me that bad taste in my mouth.
The
Like,
shop
man,
was
lots of-
the shop was Josh Hernandez's garage.
Dude, you're a lot nicer than I would.
Yeah,
have been.
man.
I would have lost my mind. Not gonna lie.
I know a
would've
couple
went
guys
there,
that would have like burnt the place to
Oh
the
yeah,
ground.
that would have
So,
been.
dude, so my wife and I, we talked, and she's like, "You realize, like back in the day," I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude, that it'd be like this tall, that whole building, because I'd have
Yeah.
burnt it to the ground." And I've had, dude, when I got the Lambo, that was one of the biggest things that, like, eye-opening things to me was that when you bring it in somewhere, they just expect that you know nothing about cars, and they want money.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
agree.
dude, I bought this car. Like, so the first thing that happened with that car after I converted to rear-wheel drive was I blew the clutch out. I'm like, clutch, whatever.
Yeah.
$20,000. I'm like, yeah, right.
Shut
Like,
up. They really quoted you 20 G's.
so to get my steering rack, so the steering rack was leaking. So
Right.
to have the steering rack done, to have it, whatever, to rebuilt,
Yeah.
and a clutch put in was like quoted at over 25 G's.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and I'm like,
I would have been like, you want to smell this gooch?
and I'm like,
What
like,
do you do?
dude, I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, okay. So then I started reaching out. I'm like, I need to meet some people in this
Right.
game. There's got to be other dudes that stretch their budget out way too far.
Sure.
Because what happens is people buy these cars and they sit. I bought it and I'm like, convert it to rear wheel drive. Let's do donuts today. Like,
Right.
let's do this. And then when you start driving them, so now I've learned so much. So like, if anyone is looking for because I hear it all the time. People are like, dude, that's the cheapest Lambo you can buy. I'm like, well, dude, buy one.
Right.
Right.
Like, dude,
have
this
fun
is-
in your
Where's
Hyundai
yours?
Sonata.
Sweet.
Yeah, like I never want to come across as that person, but I hear it so many times. And like the
Right.
bigger you grow on social media, I got all these people just hating on me and telling me like, dude, that's a broke person's Lambo. I'm like, well, dude, dope Accord. Like,
Right.
No, but the hate, like there's real haters out there are gonna say that stuff. Like I got the poor man Supra. Like in the Super guys will definitely tell me that they'll be like, you got the poor man Supra. I'm like, so it looks different than yours, and I got mine boosted, and I love my car. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's the poor man Supra.
yeah,
I'll own that shit, but why would somebody go to you and say, I don't know, your car sucks, Supra's way better? I'm like, okay, so I pay super prices because all of my components are the same. So why am I why do I get talked down to? I'm like, I still have a great car. I love it, right?
Right.
And you love that car,
Dude,
but
I
people
love
still
that
be
car.
like, fuck your Lambo.
Right.
Yeah.
So who really cares what other people say?
Yeah, but that's
you
hard.
bought it for you.
But
You didn't
like,
buy it for anybody else.
That's
The thing
what
is,
I
you're always
say.
gonna have
That's what
those,
you say.
You're
I
always
know.
gonna have those losers
But
like
now-
backing up on
But
you.
it bugs me. Like it's taken. And my wife, dude. My wife's like my ride or die. So she went through all my shit when life was not good. She was there right by my side. So
Cool.
now as I'm trying to build this life for my family and like I'm into this scene and she knows that like my heart is good. Like I want to help
Right.
everybody I can.
Right.
And then she sees this hate to me. She's like, look their address up. And she's Mexican, dude. She's like, she's about to go.
We'll get the cartel on them.
Wow.
Dude, she wants to go straight kill people because she's like, I can't believe someone would say this to you. And then I'm sitting here like, well, babe, you just got to brush it off. And then I'm sitting here like scrolling through their stuff, looking on Facebook, finding out, trying to look where they, because I'm like, well, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So then I had
But
to take.
You're
I had to
always
flip
gonna
it.
have those haters, man. Like honestly, a lot of people hate on all of our cars. I can say honestly, and
No, I do. You get hate a lot.
I get, dude. I've got like tagged in threads, and I was like, "LOL, haters." That's all I'll say. Like,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, so many people were mad that I won at Hin. Not this last year, but the year before. There was a huge thread about it, and I'm like, get better. I'm my bad. Like, sorry, I won.
But here's something this is what makes this right now, this conversation really crazy. Ben does not put his stuff out there. And you don't collect any of this hatred from anybody.
That's because you should
I
bring
just
it
do
out
it for
though.
me.
He does it for him, which is wild because, obviously you're putting it out there. You got the YouTube channel and that, and it's, it's like, hey, because you're doing great things with it. And people just fight back. So the better you put out there, the more hate you get. But if you put less of it out there and you get less, like, where's that balance? Where's that tipping point?
Well, I was going to ask you too, like, how is the other side of the spectrum from the people who own exotics, the people that are a little higher up, like the kids that are building the Cords, they're going to hate on you probably because
Right.
they're
Oh,
jealous. Guys that are driving Lambos, that are driving Ferraris, they see it and they're like, hey, that's pretty cool. You're willing to put some money and time into this car where most of us are just going to leave it alone because it's an investment or whatever it is.
Well, dude, the doors that like that car has opened for me, it's insane. I mean, getting to
Oh,
go
I
out
bet.
and like hang out with Daily Driven Exotics and JR Garage and like all these people that now I get to like call my friends
Right.
because of the car. And then people do see that. And then the other thing, like what for me it makes it all worth is I get the kids. I get kids that DM me. I got kids that come up to me and at Taco Bell and Huts. I mean, when I'm out in public in our town, like these kids, and they feel like they're, like hanging with a celebrity. Like
Sure.
they see, and it is
I
like
get it.
it
No,
makes
for
me
real. I get
feel
it.
so good.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
these kids, like I can't. Because there's been times where like I'll put a video out and I like work my ass off and I do all this and it's like do my videos I'd get some with 5, 10, 15,000 views. Now I'm really working this YouTube thing and it's like 150, 200, 300, 400 views and I'm like, dude,
What the
fuck? Like I'm doing everything right and I'm learning the SEO and I'm
Yeah.
trying to do all this stuff and then I'm like, dude, I should just quit this and I'm like, well, wait, why did I start it? Like I love doing the YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And I got these kids that are like,
Yeah.
hey, is everything okay? Like we didn't see a video. What's going on with this? We look forward to seeing it. And then
kids
I
are
go
relying on you.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They
And-
like need you to help keep that dream that you were describing
Yeah.
earlier going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what started the whole channel was just that was the kids I would go in, I'd mentor at school.
Yeah.
And they saw me and they saw earrings, they saw tattoos, and they saw a Lambo. All the kids,
That's cool.
you're a YouTuber. I'm like, no, dude. They're like, that's the only way that you got tattoos and a Lambo. They're like, so then they came up with this thing so they all would talk. And they're like, the reason he won't tell us his YouTube is because he swears. He swears a bunch. That's what it has to be.
Sure.
I'm like, dude, I don't have a YouTube. Like, that was before my YouTube channel. I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to start one.
Yeah.
Like, and,
Well,
now
you got
it's-
me watching now. I mean, I've caught you caught a few. The more I had caught, the more I was like, this is dope. No, I don't want to tell people that I'm, looking at people's stuff on YouTube. I'm perusing around because I try to stay like in my own. Everybody knows I like hide in the garage a lot, but it's
Plus-
like the more I watch, the more I was like, man, you're doing like you see people that are on like your level, or you know what I mean. Not saying like, oh, I'm way up here. I'm not even saying I'm way down here, but you see people that are doing their thing, and you like respect the shit out of
Well,
it.
you want to relate with those kind of people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like me and Josh met, and we were both like, we were trying to kill the game, And I was like, yo, we're on the same level. And I've known you for a long time, Ben. Like, and now that I'm getting to know you too, I'm just like, good people.
Yeah.
On the right level,
Yeah.
the head's in the right spot.
Yeah.
You're not out there hustling the game. You're not doing it for you're not like trying to make money and do all that. You're doing it because you absolutely love it, and like that's way more important,
dude, than any of it. And the people you meet, like the relationships you get to make when you find. And dude, it's gotten so easy now. Like I don't know if it's with age or what it is, but to really quickly spot out, like, oh, these are good dudes.
Yeah,
These are good dudes. And the car scene is tough because there is a lot of, and I've started to notice this, now that I've gotten back into the car scene. I mean, it's a lot different than propulsion on, university days.
Right.
Oh,
It's it's changed a lot.
Yep.
And I thought I wanted to be in the exotic side of it, like hang out with these dudes, and I could sell work there, and I could do all this, and I got into that, and I'm like, shit.
But they're every group, and they got their own things going on. So sometimes you don't want to like necessarily interfere with it, even if you're on the like I have some of the most humble people around me, and it's not because it was just happened to be that way. It's because you met the good people, and you try to keep them around, and you try to keep them by you, and you do good things with each other, and you do good things for each other.
And that real recognizes real. Like,
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I give away so many parts to people. I see a guy that's busting his ass like I was. I mean, I bought a drift car out of Florida, dude. I needed parts, and so as I got parts, and I didn't need the other ones, I just pass that along. I got a guy that was helping me out hardcore, and I just pass it right down the line. So, I mean, good people, doing good things.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. I was gonna get into a whole other topic about that stuff, about with the car stuff, but I'm gonna move on because we got to talk about power, dude. Let's talk about. I'm gonna start with NA motors, man. I mean, you're NA on the Lambo.
On the Lambo, yep.
The Lambo, and you have your NA. Will your E30 be NA?
It's up in the air. I have 3 motors sitting there with the debate of what goes where, So I'm aiming turbo. The gods have whispered at me, turbo. No, I really want to go turbo. I had a turbo car back in the day, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had in a car because it's not endless, but turbos are they're great. Your car's turbo. It's
I'm
pretty
converted.
rad.
I will never ever go back to NA. I'm gonna tell you, even if I get a big V8 or whatever, it'll still be turbo.
No,
There's no way I cannot not have a turbo anymore.
But there's guys on 4-cylinder motors, like out at the drag strip,
Guilty.
pulling way more power out of a 4-cylinder than you.
I'm not pulling that much.
No, but NA guys doing it.
Yeah, that Humble.
oh, yeah.
Is it Humble Racing? There's that. They got. I just friend requested the dude today, and I followed some of their stuff on Instagram.
Crazy.
And, he just broke into I think he ran an 890 something.
That's so crazy.
On a
all
4-cylinder?
motor case.
All
NA,
motor.
K-
So-
those K series are.
Well, yeah.
There's
a lot
some
of
of these-
people
Shout out,
doing cool stuff.
Watch my RSX that I'm going to be building this year. So.
Okay.
Just
Can't
make
wait.
it rear-wheel drive.
Yes, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive.
No, front wheel.
No, but there's something to be said. If you can like really get the power out of something, like a all motor, and you really can pull it out. I mean, that's how it was done back in the day. The hot rod guys were doing it like that, and they were getting as much as they could get out of it, and they were doing cool stuff.
Yep.
So you see guys like the humble guys killing it. Like it's all about like.
It's putting that power because they're in the I think mid 300 range or 300 range, but they're in the right chassis.
Yeah.
And I mean that turn when you get into the gearing and now back in my Honda days it was launch control was like an MSD ignition that was just cutting just straight, just destroying your motor. Pop, 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 pop. And now it's like. Essentially, they're using a traction control through AEM Infinity, and I'm like, "What's AEM Infinity?" And he's like, "Dude, your car's got it." And I'm like, "Dude, that's sweet."
Awesome.
What's it do? Is that like a VTEC controller?
What is that? But if you can pull it off, like I don't know what motor this is for, like who built that, but dude, that's beautiful motor.
Gorgeous.
It really is. We're looking at a crazy, beautiful 4-cylinder on the screen that if you're listening, then you should probably watch it on YouTube because it's way cooler that way. I mean, as much as I would love to, like when I got my SC, it felt great, you know, it felt good. But I was going to do the 400 because of the V8. And then I got convinced to do a straight 6 2JZ motor. And I was like, but why? The V8's got more power. It's because of turbo. Turbo is the answer to everything that is awesome. And I love it. I am forever bowing down to
my GTI.
Yeah, that's the exact size turbo you have in your
Those
GTI.
same shoes.
Yeah, same shoes too. My racing
But
shoes.
it changes everything, and there's something to be said. Like NA power, it comes on and it pushes through. I get there's variances if you have stuff like VTEC or variable valve timing and all that. It changes the way it feels. That's fine. But when turbo comes on and when boost comes in, it's
Ooh.
it's a fucking dance party, man.
It is.
And it
feels
can
so
be
good.
variable. I mean, the thing with turbos is you're not stuck with one option. You have a naturally aspirated motor that you've built up, high compression, whatever. You're there. You know, that power band is what it is. You know, you can't change a lot. Where you can literally unbolt the turbo and put a different turbo on there, and it'll perform completely different.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
You have a huge turbo in your car.
Thank you.
And I don't know if that was really a compliment, but okay, cool, right. But
Thank you.
the way that one works, I'm sure is a lot higher on the top end.
Yeah, no,
Right.
no. I found the balance in between, and it is all changing that. Like because, you know, how's your hot side compared to your cold side?
The ARs and all that.
Yeah. Because it was like,
Yeah.
you change this, then you're going to change how this acts. So there's two parts of it. It's not just one thing, right? But you can change all that to, you know, compensate for what you want it to do.
Right, like you see the guys on the 1320 videos, huge turbos. They're highway racers. That's what they build it for.
Yeah.
You know, they go to Mexico and they do their thing at 100 and however many miles an hour. But you're not going to see that turbo setup on a track car or somebody that's trying to make use of the entire power band.
Right.
You know, like there's that big difference in all of it.
I remember the question when I was talking to Aaron at Drift Motion. He says, "Well, what size turbo do you want?" And I go, he goes, "What do you want to do with it?" And I was like, "I just want to have fun with it." And he's like, "All right." He goes, "Okay, AR-70, 6265." You know, and he was just like, that's what you're going to want. Because I was just like, I'm going to put a turbo in this car. It's going to go a lot faster.
Yeah, I
you know,
want
and
to go.
he goes, well, what, you know, where do you want the power to kick in? Where do you want that? I go, realistically, it's my first turbo. So, you know, you got to help me. But he said, here you go. He goes, this is about where it'll come in. And this is what you'll get it up to. This is how much power you can potentially put down with this. If you do this right and this, so let's start it out fun. And so when I got into it, I mean, because there's so many things you could do. You could spend to the moon if you wanted to. But, you know, if you want to do it right, talk to people that have worked with the platform and make sure that you're doing it the right way. And you will have so much fucking fun. Right. It's a good time.
Right. Deep in fun.
Your car's fun. It's fast. It's fun, though.
It is fun because it's so light.
It's because it's light.
Yeah.
You did, like, Josh has a great setup. That turbo didn't originally come in that car, so which is awesome, and it feels good and it's fun, and that's the way it should be. If you're going for big power, you're going to break stuff.
Exactly.
And even, you know what I mean?
Everybody
You want to play?
Yeah.
And like everybody gives me shit. They're like, oh, my car's faster. I'm like, cool. I don't care. My car's fun. I love it. It
Pulls like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it still pulls real
favorite,
fucking hard.
My
not gonna
favorite
lie.
is the people that all come up at shows and they're like, well, dude, you should race my buddies.
No, everybody always wants
Okay,
to.
so you're flexing your buddy's dick.
Yeah.
Congratulations, bud.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's just that was my biggest thing with the Civic was I get so many people like, you know, for 10 grand, my Civic would smoke your Lambo. I'm like,
Okay, kid.
how many kids want to sit in your Civic?
Right. Right.
You know, and then it was like, you know what? I love Hondas. Like, so.
I get
Yeah.
it. It's just I hate
right.
those guys like that. They're all out there.
Well, I mean,
But now I can race them with my Civic too. But
Yeah,
dude, I
there
got
you
one
go.
of them too. Like,
Oh, you want to race Civics?
go.
All right, let me go grab my other car.
that's
real
actually
quick.
my fast car.
Yeah.
have you looked
This
at?
is my daily real quick. So let me grab the race car for you.
I was gonna say, have you looked at the size of turbo? But I don't. Since you're gonna run people for fun, I'm not gonna ask that question because you don't want to get all. The
I don't even
secrets
remember
away.
exactly what. Yeah, it's
It's in there.
You
like-
promised me a ride in this car. I'm getting it on
yeah.
tape, so you got to promise
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, for sure. If I get it all
All right,
it'll
that's
be
a-
running regardless,
that
whether
is a
we
sp-
make the budget or not. But
That's a spoken contract between
That's a spoken contract.
Ryan and Josh.
Hello.
All right, so any of you guys run a nitrous oxide? I know you have because of that one motor.
I'm kidding. I
I,
don't.
have
I
you guys
used to.
ridden? You used to run
yeah, I
nitrous?
used to run on everything because it was cheap.
I highly recommend if nobody's
So-
ever rode in a car with nitrous or not necessarily own one because it is a big potential waste.
You got to do it right.
You got to do it right.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, if somebody has one that you know and you're like, ask them if you can do a pull in nitrous, just so you can know what it feels like. It's a different kind of party.
Well, and
It's an amazing party.
But
yeah, it is.
But if you own a car with nitrous, you don't party all the time because if you party all the time,
I did.
you did.
Yeah. Every time I had it, all the time, it was. But then But that was back in the. I was doing it back in the day of. I mean, we weren't plumbing in. We weren't doing it right.
You're
You
just-
could buy a Zex dry kit, and you could pull the knot. You could have a 125 shot
Sucked.
directly, just straight into your intake, and then you could. I don't even remember what was it. You have to retard the timing, put Zex plugs, put the nice 4-prong plugs in there,
Yep.
and we'd go take those stock D16 Y7, essentially stock. I mean, exhaust and intake, and we'd just straight
So
run an
nuts.
Send
open
it.
125 shot, and dude, that thing was. Those cars were fast. I mean, we'd run down all the supercharged LSs, all those back in the day, but.
right.
It
It is
wasn't
the
for very
cheapest
long.
way to make horsepower.
Cheapest way to make horsepower.
Yep.
And I mean, you can get out. I mean, you can get out there and just and surprise
You can
people.
hide it.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden, somebody's like, "How the fuck did he pass me?" And you're just like, "I mean, what the fuck?" I mean, blast it out with the Honda Fit shit.
It's stock.
How is it nowadays with the nitrous?
Got him.
Sorry, that was my little insert.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know what the
People are like, "What the?"
what happened there. Somebody else joined us.
He's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm just over here
Did
watching
you see
videos.
the go look at the like Vegas.
Wait, oh, you ran into him down there?
Yeah,
I know he's from Vegas.
yeah. These nuts.
Got him.
I got it all on film
No
right,
way.
right
No way.
in his face. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
got
he's from Vegas. I know he's from Vegas.
Is he
'cause,
like? Did he ever make money off of that?
probably
killed
not?
it. He killed it. He made yeah.
You
You think he
serious?
made money off it?
Yeah, he monetized it, or I don't think.
Oh
he
man,
really
hold
did.
on. Let me get him paid real quick.
Yeah,
These nuts. These nuts. These nuts.
Got him.
Got him.
That was $20 right
Dude,
there.
he's so funny. Yeah, like I've seen a bunch of videos. He's always in like downtown, like on the strip.
he's right on the strip. Yeah,
Always,
Wow,
all
that's
the time.
cool.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's shameless, dude. Because he came up and I was vlogging and he comes up and I hear D's and I'm like, whoa, that's the real deal. and I was like, you did it. And I look and it was him. And I'm like, and he's like, I
Pay
was like,
me.
do it again. He's like, pay
You
me.
can't hold first out. I'm gonna tell you
And
right
I'm
now.
like, dude,
you're not
$20.
making. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're not making that much money if you're panhandling on the Vegas Strip.
But if people are willing to pay you for something you said on,
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm never gonna. If I become viral,
Dude, he probably scooped $100 in 5 minutes while we were sitting there.
really,
Yeah, I was
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was sick.
That's
It was-
crazy.
still,
Wow.
he's obviously.
You have
Whatever.
you have to jack up that grill of yours a little
Dude,
bit.
I know it's like
They're wild.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna get onto my new. This is my new favorite. This next one here is my new favorite, and it's not because of what it is. It's because of the motor, the engine that people are putting it on.
1.8 turbo.
No, this is
kidding.
supercharger, and this is the craziest concoction that just started happening. Well, it's been going on, but
Is
you're
that a
starting to see
Whipple
it.
charger on a 1UZ
That one is a M90 or is that M80? I don't know.
Beamer motor?
Nope.
I don't know what that is.
That is a 1UZ FE.
I think that's what I said.
Yeah, you
No, I
said
was
what?
talking. I thought you said a Whipple Charger. That was.
Oh, is it, well, so
So Whipple,
I don't know a lot about
I think it's an
superchargers. but
M90.
Is a Whipple, or what do they
Yeah.
call the gear-driven ones? Like
I don't know. It's an Eaton. I don't.
Because the Eaton's like a
Eaton's
supercharged
like,
kind of one.
but it's got
Like a
like, the
turbo.
It's got like the cone-looking weird things in it.
Yeah.
That-
There's like a people know.
So like the 3800s had, because then they
Right.
would just you'd hear them like. "Rah!"
But that's the thing. They're taking these off of 3800s and the Thunderbirds, the GTPs. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is the same. Yeah.
The M80 I think came on the GTPs, and then they had the M90. I don't know, but they're putting them on the Lexus or the Toyota 1UZ FE motors, and they're putting them on the 2UZs and stuff like that. Like Kyle Hardy has one on his.
Yeah.
Is that what's on his?
Yeah.
It is.
Cool.
And so they just
It's clean. I love his car.
I love his
But-
car. I've loved his car since the
it's super.
first time I saw it.
I mean,
And
you
he's
can
super
bolt them
humble.
on.
Yeah.
He's super humble. I love that dude. But you can bolt that stuff on, and for granted, you got to get it right to make the right amount of boost and all that stuff, and get your pulleys right and everything. But it's like they're making kits, and you can go buy a whole car with the 1UZ in it for. I bought one for $300.
Right. You're
And
probably going
it's
to
dope.
spend more on that intake.
Yeah, way
manifold
more.
To adapt
Way
it
more.
than you
But-
are on the engine
but-
and the supercharger.
But you could buy that motor, and you could throw. Do something
But
like that.
what are they doing for power? What are these things seeing for?
I don't know, but there's some real fast ones out there. But yeah, man, they're killing it. Like these guys are flying down against vets and stuff on the highway, like just killing it. It's amazing.
I didn't think superchargers were popular. Really, I didn't think. I think
They're starting to come back out because these things are
it.
because you can go find
Right.
this supercharger for $150 and put new bearings in it, and all you got to do. Guys are building the intakes because they take the old ones and cut them up. They make a new plate, put it on there, and they're like, pulley, go.
right. But if you don't fabricate $150
Oh, you're
supercharger, doesn't mean anything. If
I think
you're
it's
spending
$1,500.
$1,500 to adapt it to your motor.
But think about turbo. So you know
How
what
much
I
is
mean?
the eBay turbo kit?
Oh no,
now?
Musa.
Oh,
wait,
dude, my Civic was
Moose's
built
turbo.
on one of those. $500.
Rare
for the whole
Fab
kit.
Guy's turbo. But there's
SSR
another one out
Chrome.
there. You just got to
$500.
Yeah, 2002 made 320 wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
Ran it
Wow.
to beat the
Right.
brakes off it.
Brakes.
We do St. Paul to St. Cloud runs,
Wow.
Cool.
and it was
Hate St. Cloud.
terrible.
Oh man, I've driven. I won't. No, I'm not going to get into that.
We're not going to get into that.
Some illegal activity that happens on the highways there. Pro chargers are a little bit newer than these other ones. I know they've been around, but you're starting to see them more because it is like just added on.
Belt driven.
Belt driven, yeah. But it's a turbo, but it kind of has that mentality of belt driven supercharger mentality, but bolt up on the front. So it's a little different. And you could, I believe, you can change the cold side on them, which changes some of it. And so there's some adaptive.
Because I know they're making a lot of the LS kits. I mean
Yeah.
V8s.
Yeah.
Because they see the big power gains out of those.
I think it's a great solution to be instead of having to redo an entire intake and everything like that, be able to add it on as a belt driven solution.
Are they intercooled as well, or are they just
Yeah, I would-
throw them
Isn't
over?
this what Jesse's
You can
running?
get 'em-
They're
you can get 'em
intercooled.
intercooled. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Isn't this what Jesse runs in his Z06?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
They make some of those big motors make big power with them.
Yeah.
I know that on my that E46 I had was not. I don't know.
But
But
it-
that just wasn't. That was tuned. There was all sorts of issues. It needed to be.
It's a
dealt with.
BMW.
Which is
Yeah,
cool. I
issues.
think this is a great option.
I
coming
loved and
up.
hated mine.
The next one I want to talk about is electric turbochargers. The ones you get off of eBay, they are massive power gains. You should buy one now. No, I won't even get into that, but because they're terrible. But one thing I don't have in the slide that we kind of mentioned earlier was what electric is like as in horsepower. And have you guys ridden in an electric
Haven't.
car?
No.
I have not.
No, I've seen them kill it though.
But I know you're getting the Cybertruck over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you getting one?
If that-
Yeah,
$100
he's got-
down.
He put
Yeah,
the Honda
$100
down.
$100 down.
He put the Honda down.
I had to do it for the
Yep.
gram. So if it actually did ever come out, I think I would have to. It'll never. I mean, it's just Elon Musk being Elon Musk.
It'll-
He's a
I-
freaking
talked about
genius.
this.
I think he'll drop.
You really don't think it'll come out though?
It won't
it'll
be the
drop.
same. The numbers won't line up the same. Like
Nah.
with what they're claiming on it, I don't think it'll be. But I think that he'll do something. There's going to be something.
Yeah, I think there'll be something for sure.
I think they're gonna need that.
Better. He's got like all.
took a lot of
he's
money.
got a lot of money.
I like to.
He's got a lot of other
Yeah.
people
I like to
doing it.
ask a question real quick.
Yeah,
Do you
what
guys
you
think that the broken window thing was a scam?
Oh,
or do you
this-
think it was
oh,
real?
100
A lot of
100%.
publicity.
Well, that's what I say too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
He
there's
knew
people
he
on
was gonna
board with
break.
that. There's people on board with the broken window scam. I like, or not a scam, but yeah, I think that's dope.
Hoax.
I have not ridden in, and this is what I want to do. I haven't ridden in an electric car with a manual transmission. I really
Manual
want to see
transmission.
what that does, because I feel like what's going to happen over time is classic cars, as people convert more to electric, that electric motor drivetrain to this transmission setups will start happening more and more, because it's a relatively easily adapted thing, especially for a manual transmission.
Is
And
that an easy? I don't know
No,
much
there-
about. I mean, I've been in.
there's-
It's so weird to drive in them and I've driven some Teslas and
Yeah.
like been in a P100 and it's stupid. I mean, it doesn't make
instant.
any sense to my brain because it's just like gone and there's like not noise.
Yeah.
That's super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then that's totally. I mean, obviously, bolting a motor straight to a transmission is not going to give you this same power, because you're talking about individual wheels or a dedicated drivetrain to as such. You're still going to have issues with having, you're going to lose power through things like lose power through a transmission or whatnot.
Yep.
But adapting it, I want to know what that feels like. If it has a similar torque, I feel like it would be. There's just too much energy loss inside of that versus a straight.
It's
motor.
interesting. I mean, it's super interesting,
It's weird.
especially to think of like where things are going.
Right, and there's a huge change happening in even any kind of performance vehicles towards electric. Just you look at all the manufacturers are building electric cars, and the mandates and everything are happening to move away from combustion engines, go to this electric thing, and it's gonna be bigger. But there are companies now that are taking, I don't know, it's like electric speed shop or something. They do swaps for old Volkswagen Beetles and Porsches and
I've seen some of those.
Yeah,
and then
That'd be super
Porsche
cool.
just dropped a new,
Taycan.
that crazy
Their electric vehicle.
coming after
Yep.
Tesla.
Well,
Yep.
let them go. Let them go
shots.
after them, because right now, currently, Tesla's got the market cornered, and I don't see anybody catching them for at least a little bit.
But you know, as like regular people like us, enthusiasts, you're gonna see these Teslas showing up in junkyards and Volts and everything, and like the people are doing it now. They're
you're
taking
gonna see a
the
ton of
electric
Volts.
motors,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
taking
Throw
the fuel,
bunches away.
they're taking the battery
Agreed.
cells, and they're putting them in their old cars, and
Yeah.
they're ripping. They don't have good range, but like electric motors are so torquey, so powerful that you could do a lot.
But
in
if
a
you-
short amount of distance with those.
I mean, but what do you like? How far do you? I mean, you obviously you guys probably run the road sometime with your car, but I seriously don't go that far in my SC.
I don't go that far on my GTI.
No, so if you
I
did
go
have an
really,
electric thing,
really far in the Lambo.
I know you do.
I know you do.
I was like, well, this is a bad
Take-
example.
take-
Yeah,
this
this-
guy's good. But no, but
I got what
but
you're saying.
to and
for
from
sure.
shows or going out and
Yeah.
just cruising around, you maybe if you only got 100-mile range on your electric Miata, like say you
That's
did
gonna
that
be
up,
fast as hell.
it's going to be 100-mile range if you're just tooting around town having a good time. You're going to go back to your daily driver and you're going to pull that thing out and go to work and stuff.
right.
But your little fun toy car that you have, you're going to have a blast with it. Like,
Yep.
it'd be super fun. I can't wait to see what happens with that. But as of right now, if you're racing an electric car off the line, especially a Tesla P100D, you are
Bye.
not
By
doing. You ain't doing nothing.
Honestly, the biggest holdup is the
Nothing.
battery technology.
Which
And-
Nikolai, I'm excited to see what Nikolai's doing.
Yep, solid state batteries.
Oh, it's gonna
Yep.
be big.
Once they figure that out, it's all over with. It's charging with a 1,000-mile range in the same time it takes to fill up your gas tank.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Crazy.
By the way, shout out if anybody wants to give me and Ian a ride in their Tesla. We'll give you free decals.
But yeah, I've ridden in them. I love me some Tesla. But yeah, no. Our little thing today was brought to you by Drive Cartel. Go to drivecartel.com. You can buy a bunch of cool Drive Cartel stuff, a bunch of clothes, all the stickers, everything, and we have some new products that are coming out. So keep your eyes out for that. If you're at home here in Minnesota, what are you doing? What are you doing, Ben? What are you doing this winter? What's your project?
It's staying warm. It's staying warm in the garage. No, the garage setup's nice. So yeah, I'm building the E30. We're
Cool,
building
man.
it from chassis, start suspension stuff, all polyurethane up. Got the coilovers in the mail the other day.
What'd you go with for coilovers?
I got some BCs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
good
they've been
company.
around. The ones I got aren't the BR. I got the linear whatever ones. A little more track driven setup.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's where I'm going with the build. It's a track build, something I can still drive on the streets, but
Be
take to
fun.
the track, get some numbers, work on that.
So
tune it,
do you
everything.
do sort of like the trucks? Are you still working on truck projects?
Trucks are gone. No.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
actually
Yep.
like a different phase now.
Yep.
So that's
kind of got over the car show thing,
Okay.
and now I'm like, I want to have a vehicle that functions because the truck it was bagged, it went up and down, it made sparks. It was kind of cool, but
super cool.
It's all it did.
Now you can
So
push yourself.
Now I can
On
try
the
to
track.
set some lap times or whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
man.
a lot of things that happen when
Yeah.
the snow goes away where we can go Dakota County Technical. Whatever, the community college.
DC.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
The autocross stuff, and then
there's a
moving
lot
grounds
of
and
autocross
everything.
around too. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a lot.
it's a good.
There's a lot more
need to
autocross
take-
than drag racing. I mean,
Yeah,
unless you're doing it
way more.
illegally.
Right.
I mean, if you
And
want
that's getting you get in so much trouble now. Like that.
Yeah,
that was
it's not
kind of
even
my
worth
thing
it
with
at this point.
I'll
because
lose
when
my
we were
car.
gonna boost, we wanted to boost the Gallardo, and then we talked, with B Rogue and stuff, and I've got a good relationship with them, and they're like gave me a deal that was like stupid to pass up, but I'm like, dude, I like the reliability. I don't need 900 horse. Like,
Right.
what am I gonna do with that? It's already fast.
Right.
Like, it's already loud. It shoots huge flames. It does donuts. Like
But my Honda Sonata's better.
that's yeah, for sure.
I bet.
For sure.
You want to race my buddy for 5K?
5K.
So, but that's like taking it to the track and actually.
Yeah, doing something with your car.
Yeah.
I
Right.
like car shows. I like having something that's like, hey, that's cool. Look at you.
Yeah.
That's always fun. But having it function, having it do something you want it
awesome.
to do is so cool. So that's where my head's at with this build.
That's
And
awesome,
I hope
man.
it works out, and it's it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
It's a beautiful, very clean car.
That's a good place to start too.
It's
It's with a clean car.
Yeah, which is going to be great. I'm really excited. I'm excited to sit in your really warm garage
Yeah.
with your awesome music and your TV going with the videos and everything.
That's the hardest part when you turn on that TV.
No, it's great,
Just
man.
keep your eyes away from it. Just stay focused on the task at hand.
It's good. I love
No
it.
more Fast and the Furious. Just
Dude.
work on the car.
Yeah, it's great, man. I cannot explain this experience at his garage. It's just like the most.
That's fun.
I love
Garage
working in a
garage parties are coming back pretty soon too.
Oh yeah, man.
As soon as that
Yeah.
car's off the jack stands and rolls around, roll it out. We'll have a
Put it
garage
out to
party.
the side. I'll
Yeah.
bring my dollies over. We can just push it over to the side.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, it's awesome working a garage like that. Lambo Dad, Ryan, what are you working on? What are the big plans for Lambo Killer?
So that is just get it going. I mean, I've got a list. I got it all broken down on a whiteboard. So
Cool.
kind of, it's really hard because I've never since I've been working on the Lambo and stuff, to try to stay in a budget.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I'd rather just buy the parts and let's go. Let's
Yeah,
just get this
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But now with the YouTube thing, and I've had a ton of people that are reaching out like, dude, this is sweet, because it brings it to another level where people relate
Yeah.
a lot more, and they're not just like, you're a douchebag because you have a Lambo. Because you get a ton of that, and I'm like, I hate it, but it drives me crazy.
But
So
no.
it was like now bringing the Civic into the game
Yeah.
is gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome,
So
man.
there's a lot of work to do in it, and then I keep the Lambo. So we got winter tires on that. I just put a hitch on it for as soon as we get some fresh.
Shut up.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see what happens with this hitch project.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So,
So
we
hold on,
got,
are you doing this next
Yeah,
too?
right here you got
on?
snow plow on the
man.
front of the Lambo.
I gave up snow plowing last year.
Hey.
17 years I plowed snow, so
well.
He's-
I had to hang up the plow.
So what do you do with the hitch?
So it's gonna be for towing people behind it with
People.
skiing, snowboarding.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we used
okay,
to do
that
that.
one.
That was.
I thought you were saying towing people.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you
We
going
did
to
that
tell
with
you? Are you going to tell
trucks
me to
and
like
stuff.
leap
Yeah, yeah.
fast or
I got the
Evo
rope in
or
the garage
Evo?
for it right
Yeah.
now too.
Yeah, that's what I've
That's
got
crazy.
a nice, gold matching 75-foot nice handle.
Really?
Man,
So we-
really?
yeah, dude,
Hold on, hang
getting
on.
serious.
I
So
told
okay,
a,
so
I told
can
a
we do
Santa
this?
I told a Santa Claus around a freaking park in Burnsville 2 weeks ago.
Oh, cool,
Really?
man.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
That's super cool.
It's gonna be sweet.
Well, man, I love it, and I love the fact that both of you guys came onto the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both of you are doing some amazing things that inspire me, and hopefully they're out there inspiring you too. So the best way for you to find that out is for you to follow them. Ryan, what's your tags?
So my YouTube is just Lambo Dad. We switched it up. We're actually kind of rebranding right now.
Yep.
Because it's really hard to look up Lambo_Dad with two D's, which is
With 2 D's.
Yep. So
Double D.
that's still my Instagram. Double D's. So that's still my Instagram. And then we're gonna be rolling out a whole new line of merch, a whole bunch of stuff for this season. But it's like it's right there. I got all the final stuff, and then we're gonna kind of want to start more of a community, because it's like the Lambo Dad thing is cool and it kind of took off, but we need something that's more like when these kids are, when they get a shirt, it just says Lambo Dad. So we started the Lambo Fam is what it's gonna be.
Hey, there you go.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
so
really like that.
It'll bring people into where it's like,
Yeah.
because it really is like when I go to shows, and anybody that's ran into me at a show will know that like the car's open, the door's open,
Cool.
like you get to jump in it and do
Keys are in it?
And can I just say,
They
honestly,
usually are always in it.
and can I just say that honestly, when I did meet Ryan, that dude, you were one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Like,
Dude, I
dude,
appreciate
you're
it.
super cool. Like, you were like, you want to see the car? And I was like, okay. Like, this guy's super nice. So shout out to Ryan. He's super cool.
Dude, I appreciate it. I try really hard. And we've had letting kids sit in it. I've had my blinker handle broken off. I had my front lip broke off last year at one of the shows from a kid. He was standing close and stepped on it and broke it. And but and people are like, "Well, what'd you say?" I'm like, "Dude, nothing. That's part of this.
Yeah.
Like that stuff
Cool,
happens."
man.
Super cool, yeah.
So I try. I mean, I try to be and I want to bring as many people in to
Yeah.
see.
That's great,
You know?
man.
Yeah.
So
Ben, how do we find you and follow this E30?
I made a new Instagram, E30 yo.
E30, yo.
That's me. There's
love
nothing
it.
on there yet, but I'm gonna as I build, I'll post things. And-
Well, I know great things are happening with it, because I got some photos of it myself, and it's I'm excited for this. So
well, let me see what you got. I don't take many photos. I just
I'll show them to you.
I need to check out this garage. I think it sounds like that's
come
a
on.
place.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
you
the
guys
hang.
need to hang out.
Yeah.
Because there's like the garage. You do the little garage nights where just guys come over and just kick it in the garage.
yeah,
and we
it's
just,
been a while. I've been tied up in house projects and stuff for a long time. It feels like so. I'm hoping this winter things will die down a little bit, and I can get some people over there and do that.
I got a pizza oven. Do you got a pizza oven in there?
Funny thing, I just got a new oven. I have a pizza oven, yes, but
What's this new oven?
The new oven talk.
Yeah,
Coming
this
over
is
tomorrow.
great. Hold on. Wait for it.
Remodel I'm doing. I got the double ovens that go in the houses.
Is this in the
KitchenAid.
garage, or are we
This,
talking?
yeah, this is key. This is
Yep.
key.
So the double oven is now going to be my powder coating oven. And
Damn.
I had to test it out. So I threw a pizza in the double oven, and it came out perfect. And then about 20 minutes later, that thing was ripped down to nothing. And now it's double oven's one big oven, so you can put bigger parts. You put 20-inch wheels in there and powder coat.
So cool.
Yeah, so it's fun.
So if you need a powder
So I'll be
coater,
over tomorrow, okay?
yeah, come on
We're
by.
hanging out
That'd be
tomorrow.
cool. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you guys coming. Josh, we can find you at
Waskley GTI, WASKLY GTI.
Nice. And,
So, yeah.
and you can find me at Luxury Missile. Yeah, man, it's been a blessing
Yeah,
to
it's
have
fun.
you guys
Thanks
on
for
the
having
show.
us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is
this is cool.
sweet. This
Thanks
is,
for coming, guys. Like, we really appreciate it, So,
I mean,
This is big for the whole car scene. I think
Yeah.
is something like when
Yeah.
I started my podcast, I tried to do kind of a YouTube thing with the Lambo Dad Lounge. Was kind of
Sure.
and the idea was sort of there, but it's like getting the people together and this this setup. Like I don't know how much of this thing's like this is sweet. Like this is
This is really cool.
This is
Ian did really good.
I
This
went
is
on
like a super
eBay.
cool, chill. Like this is sweet.
Yeah.
Man, that's what,
Appreciate
that's
it.
what we're doing, man. Just hanging out.
good.
So, I mean, we just wanted to be able to hang out with everybody at home and whatnot when it's the winter and we don't see you as much because, honestly, being out the shows, we miss y'all and we're glad.
We know you miss us, so.
So feel free to comment below and, if you want to come on the show, come hang out with us and we'll do it again with you real soon. So we appreciate you and that's how we do it.
Thanks. Dream Killers.
Bye.